right, thank you everyone for the invitation to attend this very interesting conference. I love talking about conferences about God because as a scientist, I don't get to use that word very often. So that's great for me. So here's the title of my talk, and I am going to start off by talking about collective consciousness as a definition, as the resonances between individual consciousnesses. So then the question is, what is the nature of the individual consciousness? And to me, it's all about energy. That now these energies that define individual consciousness are non-classical. That means that they don't obey the laws of Maxwell and Hertz and conventional electromagnetic fields. And of these kind of energy fields, there are many different types. Here's a list of some of the types. They are generated when you have mathematical solutions that are real solutions. And these solutions can be represent physical phenomena, in this case, waves. And there are many different types of waves that are generated mathematically. Now, some of these are found in the real world and some are not. And here's a list, you can read it for yourself. But the more interesting one that this is an old slide, and most recently I've discovered a new kind of field, which is called an imaginary field. Imaginary because it's made of imaginary numbers, like all of quantum physics is based on imaginary numbers. So these are the kind of energies that I'm talking about that are involved with the consciousness itself. And they're also, well, okay, so leave it at that. Right. So here's a slide depicting how two different individuals can communicate and resonate with each other energetically at all of these different levels. Now, I use the terminology electromagnetic, EM, SC is scalar energy, which is like electromagnetic, but a little more subtle. And then we have quantum energy, and then we have divine energy at its source. Now, there are many different layers between the physical body and God. So here I've only depicted one, two, three, four level, three or four levels. But according to Eastern Indian traditions, there are as many as 36 different levels, and each level can be considered a type of energy. But just to understand the concept, what we're talking about here is resonance between two individuals at these different levels, energy levels. So that is what constitutes collective consciousness. Now, it turns out that the individuals can also resonate with nature, which is part of the theme of this conference. And the way that we resonate with nature is at all these different energy levels. So now the question becomes, well, what is nature? Well, nature to me is really the environment. Okay, so in the environment we have individual consciousness. Yes, we have nature and energy from the trees and the plants, and then we also have this phenomena, this intrinsic energy of the universe, if you will. Now, zero point energy (ZPE) is one type of universal energy which is present everywhere. This is a quantum energy. There's another kind of universal energy, which is called the background microwave energy, which is electromagnetic in nature. So, in addition to having the trees and the plants and the people in nature, we have all this residual background energy. And it's just all part of the complex nature of how we interact with the environment. Okay, so now that I've defined individual consciousness, we can talk about how to raise consciousness or how consciousness can be shifted. To me, that means raising consciousness, because the first step in shifting your consciousness is to raise your consciousness. And how do we do that? Well, I've got two different methods here in the interest of time. One is through meditation, which is self explanatory, and the other is an influx of divine energy into the body. Now, this can happen by two different mechanisms that I'm aware of, probably more than that. One is through the crown chakra, and one is through molecules that act as antenna for this kind of higher dimensional, subtle energy or divine energy. Because what we're really interested in the environment is the divine energy. So here's a picture depicting how nature or the divine energy in nature comes in through the crown chakra. It goes down the shushumna, which is the central channel in the spinal cord. Then it reaches the base of the coccyx or the base of the spine, and it comes back up the Ida and Pingala, the two channels there that look like snakes, because in medicine they use that symbol. And when this energy comes back up, this is the still divine energy. Then it radiates out into the rest of the body, forming what the biofield, which is another term for the individual consciousness. And exactly how this occurs is complex. It's a phenomena that involves phase conjugation, as you can see, and I don't really have time to talk about it, but I have published about this. So this is a theory of mine that is now published. Okay, so this is how one way that we can create, bring in the divine energy from the environment. The second method is using various antenna. So I'm going to use DNA as an example of a kind of higher order structure. Now, DNA we know exists as a helix, but the helix can wind itself into a toroid, which is seen as an electron microscope in the bottom right photographs. These are actual photographs taken by biologists. Biologists acknowledge that there are toroids. The DNA exists as a toroid, but they have no idea what the function of it is. What I'm going to propose is that it acts as an antenna for divine energies through a mechanism that I'll show you in a second that involves a catenoid, which is the center of a toroid. Catenoid looks like this, and a catenoid in physics is called a wormhole, a special kind of wormhole, which allows divine energy or higher dimensional energy, here depicted as five-dimensional energy, into ordinary 4D electromagnetic energy. And this is the first step that's involved in bringing down this kind of energy because divine energy is so refined, the body doesn't know how to deal with it. I believe it has to be down converted into more dense energy like scalar energy and electromagnetic energy so that it can be used by the body either to help heal the body or to allow us to be come up with new solutions to the environment. So that's the bottom line. Thank you very much. Pleasure.